used to call me Crazy Joe, but now they can call me Fat Man.
What up? Welcome back again to the Necro Zoo. I am Bones, and in this one, let's go ahead and add one more figure to my McFarlane DC Multiverse collection. Now this time it is going to be Grifter. Now he originally is an Image character, but recently he has been adapted to the DC universe. Now he is another one of these wild card, nonchalant characters, but I do really remember him from the animated movie of Flashpoint, where he put up a pretty good fight. So pretty cool character, interesting look. Hopefully using this character we might get some Image characters from the Wildcats, which would be pretty awesome. But let's go ahead and take a closer look at him. But first, he does come with your standard black DC Multiverse stand. Not needed, but sometimes useful. He also comes with his data file card. On the front, you do have some figure photography, a little bit rendered, and in the back, you do have some information. Of course, Cold Cash, Grifter, Mercenary, pretty cool hero for hire. Another one of these obscure characters, but he definitely has a cool look. Now he does come with two accessories. First, this pretty sweet serrated hunting knife. Pretty simple. He also comes with this kind of katana longsword, but it is also serrated. Could use some paint on the hilt, but all in all, pretty cool accessories. Now, we all know that he uses a lot of guns. That's his main weapon, going all the way back to the Wildcats and to Image Comics. Now, I do have a good assortment of guns to use with him, but first, let's take a closer look at him. Starting off first impressions, I do remember him more with a long coat, like a trench coat, and this is more of a jacket, like a military style jacket. But I'm pretty sure McFarlane will have plans to give us some Wildcat figures, and he'll reuse these parts, which would be pretty sweet. But all in all, liking his look. Pretty cool mercenary tactical look on him. They, of course, hit it out of the park with the mask. That's what he looks like. The hair has a pretty crazy gold tint to it. All in all, really happy with him. Let's take a look at the head. Now, first things I could tell you right away, his head is pretty low on his body. This results in the fact that he cannot look down but slightly, and he can't look up really at all. His side-to-side movement is really good, and you can cock his head for some attitude, but it still restricts his range on the head. So what I'm going to look at is to putting a longer peg or extending the peg. It all depends on if I have an extra peg, but I'm pretty sure that will make him look better. We'll take a look at it after I take a look at him. Moving down to the jacket, pretty nice military style jacket. It is stuck to his upper chest, so it would require some work to remove it, but all in all, really nice tactical uniform that he has going on there. Let's take a look at the waist articulation. Side to side, full range at the waist, lower waist swivel, and he does have an upper chest swivel. You just got to get in there and manipulate it. That way you could twist him for some cool poses. A little bit of crunch, not too much. Can't lean back too much. I don't know if his jacket's hitting or if it's the middle plug that he has in there, but can't lean back too far, but enough. Let's take a look at the shoulders. There is no butterfly bushing in there, the ring. It's just the hole that's covered by the jacket, so that kind of works. You still get up and down and front to back movement. You have the bicep swivel and double jointed elbows, look really clean. Now, one thing I will say is when I was doing the footage that I get, like to show close up the parts being manipulated, this hand would not move. So I pretty much dipped it in boiling water, and then I was able to free it. But what I did find was that the paint was stuck. So I think what happened is in the factory, they kind of messed up the process of giving the parts time to dry and then sticking them inside the porthole, because when they stuck it in, the paint was still wet. So during, shipping and all that, the drying process, it kind of stuck the hand in one position. But luckily with the boiling water, I was able to free it, and now he does have articulation at the wrist, coming down from the shoulder through to the jacket into the wrist. He has those sculpted ball joints at the wrist, which look really nice once you get them free. Both hands have nice dexterity, and both hands, of course, are begging for weapons. Really cool. He can only get a T-pose because of the jacket, but you can shift his arms up into kind of a Y pose, or sort of above his head. Going down to the waist. Very cool set of buckles and pouches here at the waist, into some cool tactical pants that are brown. He does have thigh swivel in there. He can kick up pretty high. The pouches kind of stick it a little, but he could still get up pretty high. And then he can kick back super high. This is allowed by the rubber in the trunks, and then when you put it back, they go back to their same original form. He does have that sweet hip rotation. Double jointed knees that look pretty good, not too bad. You do have up and down at the ankle, left to right, rocker, and then toe articulation. Pretty sweet. Before we go, let's take a complete look at the lower body. Really love how they did these boots. They have a nice brushed dusting of gray to them to give that like worn look, like he's been out in the streets. Love the way they sculpted out the boots with those sculpted ankle joints. It just looks so smooth and clean. Got some pouches here on the right thigh, some pouches on the left thigh. All in all, looks really good. Let's go ahead and take a look at the bottom. Beautiful tread work there for his military style boots. Moving up the back, more great sculpt work into the back. If you look under here, he just has the same belt and loops, straps, and then the back of his jacket that has a really nice texture. I even like how they did like some striation lines and then even little damaged parts there. Really nice. All right, so first off, let's go ahead and change out the ball peg of the head. I do pop off the head, and then here in my parts, I should have another ball peg. Yes, this one's gonna work much better. You pop this one on, and surprisingly now, he looks down really well. He looks up fantastically. Gives him a lot more freedom and range, and also lifts him up like that little millimeter, gives him a little bit more height because he was a little bit short, and you get the full dexterity in the head. Now he's really fun to pose and play with, and it actually frees his head from inside that collar that's popped up. So you get a lot more range. Awesome, awesome. That's a quick little fix there. Now let's take a look at the guns. You know, he came with the sword and the knife, but he does use those in the comics. But we all know that he traditionally uses weapons. Now, first off, I do have the old school, like plasma guns that he would use with the Wildcats. These were the original ones. They come with like that 5-inch figure that came out before. But since I had 2 of those figures, I actually have doubles. So you could put these in his hand and he does look pretty good. But even for those figures, they were pretty wide, and they're wide for him as well. And to really use them, I would have to drill out the trigger hole so that his finger would slide in there. But you can do it, and they would look really, really nice. Now I also have the old school, like, what were these from the Wildcats? They were like modified handguns, but they had like this, part in the front. But these look really good with him if you want to go back to that old school 90s look. So they have that handgun in the front, but then they were modified to throw out like an energy blast. So he wouldn't be using actual deadly fire in that cartoon, but he was pretty cool in there as well. But he looks awesome with these as well. I don't know what you guys think, which guns match him better, but I also have a pair of those guns. Then let's go into, we could use, these are pretty much the ones I'm leaning towards, and they're just some Desert Eagle silver painted guns, and these actually slip the easiest into his grip, and he looks pretty awesome with these. I'm kind of leaning towards these. Now, I was going to crack open my first munitions pack from McFarlane, but I kind of didn't do it because the gun that I wanted to use with him, I found out it was actually a commando spawn gun. So I'm going to save it for him, but I have tons of weapons that Grifter could use, so it's not a big deal. And finally, we can also go with some black 45s in his hand. Looks, fits him just as well as any of the other ones. I'd really like to know what you guys think. Which guns do you think would be best to pose him with? Like I said, I am kind of leaning toward these silver Desert Eagles. They look pretty good on him. Pretty cool. But anyways, guys, he looks awesome like that. I hope you guys pick this one up. I will be adding him to the DC Multiverse shelves. Hopefully McFarlane gives us a lot more Wildcat figures, which would be pretty awesome. You guys keep hunting out there, keep collecting, keep customizing, and I will see you on the next one.